Keep the love high for the person taking us home, Maxie Jones.
So in the mid-1980s, I was in college in Buffalo, New York. I had a cousin named Sini.
Hey guys, shut the fuck up. Let Maxie talk. What the fuck are you doing over there, corner? Thank you. Stop talking. Maxie's time. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so I had a cousin who lived in Buffalo, New York. Her name is Sini. Her real name is Jean, but we called her Sini. And now Sini was a mortician. And Sini lived in an apartment above the funeral home. And she had this thing where when you came to visit her, you had to go in through the funeral home doors and then up to her apartment. And you didn't have to go through a chapel or anything, just into the funeral home and up to her apartment. So Sini called me one Friday night. She's like, Maxie, why don't you come on over and hang out over here at my place? So I said, all right. So I went over to her place. I went in through the funeral home, up to her place. And then she said, you know what? My next door neighbor, because there were two apartments above the funeral home, and the other apartment was occupied by the son of the owner of the funeral home. And she was like, let's go to my neighbor's house because he has a lot of liquor. And so I was like, all right, bet. She goes, only thing, there's not a way for us to go straight into his apartment. We have to go downstairs, through the funeral home, through one of the chapels, and then up the stairs to his apartment. I was like, no. I got a better idea. Let's go downstairs, back out the door, around the building, in another door, and upstairs to his apartment. She was like, Maxie, it's cold outside. I was like, cousin, it is not that cold outside. So we did it. We went around, we went outside, we went upstairs, went to his apartment. We drank a lot. And at about 4 o'clock in the morning, my cousin Sini says, she goes, Maxie, listen, I'm not going to let you go home tonight because we've had quite a lot to drink. I was like, yeah, I think we have too. Because, you know, when I had that ringing in my ears, that's when I know I've had a lot to drink. And she's like, all right, but only one thing. She's like, I'm not going back outside in that cold. She's like, we're going to have to go through the chapel. And by this time, I was like, no problem. She's like, all right, let's go. So we go downstairs. We go into the funeral home, and she's like, look, Maxie, look at Mrs. Robinson. Isn't she beautiful? And I was like, my goodness, what a wonderful job you've done on her. Oh, she's so pretty. Then my cousin goes, oh, by the way, she doesn't have on any shoes. I got to get her some shoes. There's a reason I mentioned that, which is going to come up later. So as soon as we pass by this casket, there are some stairs right there that lead up to her apartment. Not a door, just stairs that lead up to her apartment, like in a mansion, right? And as soon as we get to the top of the stairs, there's no door there either. We get to the top of the stairs, and Sini goes, oh yeah, Maxie, this is where you're going to sleep right here in this room, right at the top of the stairs. And I was like, really? I was like, where are you sleeping? She goes, oh, my room is like way back there. And it was like, she was like, back yonder, way back there. Right away, I immediately became sober. It was like this. I was like, cousin, I'm going home now. I'm going home right now. She's like, oh, don't be silly. You've had so much to drink. You're going to get in trouble. I was like, all right, I think I can do this. So I lay down in the bed to go to sleep. My cousin goes way down the hall to her room where she's sleeping. And I'm laying in the bed just staring at the ceiling. And every once in a while, I'm looking at the top of the stairs. You know why? Because Mrs. Robinson doesn't have on any shoes. And if anything going down, I'm going to see that shit before anyone else does. So I'm looking at the ceiling, watching the top of the stairs, looking at the ceiling, watching the top of the stairs. And then finally, hours pass, and I'm just still wide awake, haven't slept a wink. And I was like, all right, I got to do something because I'm not going to get any sleep. So finally, I get up, and I go down the hall looking for my cousin. I'm going down the hall. I'm looking in all these doors. She got all these rooms with all these doors. And nobody's in the rooms. And I'm looking in the rooms, and finally I get to the very last room, and there's my cousin sleeping. And I wake her up, and I go, Sini, wake up. Sini, wake up. Sini, wake up. And she's like frustrated, like, cousin, what is it? I said, could you please move over? And I got in the bed, slid next to my cousin, and went to sleep. Thank you very much.